Hi, I'm Carrie LaRosa and I'm a parent coach, and I am creating this video to help families come up with some plans for helping reduce children's emotional reactivity and help them calm down. There's a lot of ways to do it, but today I'm going to be focusing on creating a calm down box and discussing when to utilize that calm down box and how to do it effectively. And I'm also going to talk about using kind of a scale for helping children identify their emotions and then coming up with strategies of how to calm down, things that they can do to calm down in the moment with or without a calm down box. So first I want to talk about how children often give a lot of signs that they are escalating and becoming frustrated way before they get to that point where they're having a tantrum or having a full-on meltdown. Trying to intervene when they're sort of at that peak height of emotional reactivity is going to be very difficult, if not impossible to do. At that point, they need to just ride out that emotional storm, and there's not much that you can do in the meantime because a rational brain is not working effectively in that moment. The emotions have taken over, and so they're reactive, and anything you say or try to do, they're going to reject. So you want to try to intervene and help a child calm down before they get to that peak. So part of that is identifying what the behaviors are that children are exhibiting when they are sort of escalating and becoming more agitated. And it starts with, something really small, like being fidgety, having a hard time focusing, having a hard time sitting still, starting to whine more, starting to act even really silly and funny, and it looks like they're just hyper. Those are all signs that they are somewhat dysregulated and having a hard time calming down, and that's a perfect time to intervene. So some simple ways to do that is to take a deep breath, give them a hug, but there are kind of more formal ways that you can intervene as well. So one thing is to help a child identify where their emotions are, and actually this guide is a good one to get a sense of, for yourself, where a kid is and when is a good time to intervene. So this talks as green being like happy and calm, then blue is disappointed or sad, then yellow is anxious or scared, orange is frustrated, and then angry is that time where I'm talking about where kids, their all rational thought process has gone out the window, and that's a difficult time to intervene. So you really want to try to find them when they're here, or even here if you don't catch them in these areas. And again, the sadness is a little bit more obvious at times, but it could be refusing to engage. It could be huffing and puffing. It could be actual tears and sadness, but kids, the way they express emotions is not always so clear as to what's going on with them. And then again, the anxious or scared could be, kind of what you would expect them to be like, which is to express their feelings of anxiety or fear, cling to you, refuse to do something, but it also could be that silliness. They could act silly, they could have a hard time sitting still and focusing. Those are all signs that they're anxious and scared. So these are the points that you want to intervene. You can actually intervene here as well. Teaching them these skills to calm down when they're calm and happy is actually the best time to teach them the skills. That way, when they are feeling a little bit more dysregulated up here, then you know how then they know how to intervene. They know the skills that they need to use, the strategies they need to use to calm down, because they're not new to them. They're familiar. So this is a handout that I will put in the comments section, the link to. It is not one that I've created, but you can kind of create your own to make it more meaningful for your child. If they love Paw Patrol, you could use Paw Patrol faces. You could take pictures of them making their own faces of when they feel those different feelings. And then there's a variety of ways to calm down. these strategies that, again, if you find that the child is in, the blue or the yellow range, you want to help them to calm down. So one way is the calm down box, which I'll get to in a moment. Some other strategies are putting their hands together and pressing as hard as they can. That helps relieve some tension. Taking deep breaths. Little kids really like to do something like this. I'll send you the link to this as well. This is not mine either, but you can blow like a puffer fish, so blowing your cheeks up really big. Fill your cheeks with air and hold for 5 seconds. Then next one is a clam cuddle, so you can just hugging yourself. That's easy to do. A turtle tongue is when you stick out your tongue really quickly and put it back in, like a turtle pokes out their head from their shell and pulls it back in really quickly. And a starfish stretch, where you put your arms up and your legs out like a starfish. You can do this standing up, you can do this laying down. And the key is to have them stretch as much as they can so they can feel their muscles in that moment. Other things that you could do is have them do wall push-ups, where they just push. Here, let's see if I can do this, show you. Just push up against a wall. Again, a lot of it you see is creating some tension, and then releasing the tension helps to calm down. So for the calm down box, you can get a shoe box, anything. It doesn't need to be filled with a ton of stuff. The things that I've collected, I found on Amazon or the dollar store, Five Below. Even, the pharmacy, CVS or Walgreens, I found things there. You also might have a lot of these things you could use in your house. You don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money to do it. So a stress ball is good, and also keep the kid in mind what they would like to use, their age. The key with this box is you want them to be able to use these strategies independently. You don't want it to create a big mess. And you want it to be something that is going to calm them and not get them more excited. So a calm down stress ball. I found this really cool thing that has a marble inside, and it's like a little maze. It's a soft little blanket, and you kind of move the marble around through this maze. So it's just a lot of fidget things that, and sensory stimulating activities that help to soothe kids. This is a cool thing where you put your fingers in all these little holes and squeeze the ball and stretch and squeeze. Drawing for a lot of kids is really helpful in calming and soothing. Sometimes little cars to move back and forth, maybe even a small stuffed animal. One of these kind of soothing timer type things. Where they can just watch the bubbles go. You can actually make your own one of these calm down jars. So, really whatever the child likes, anything that's soothing, calming, sensory, fidget toys are good. And, what I want to note, I think one of the things that's really important to note about the calm down box and also about intervening with children is that the key is that this is a strategy to help them identify when what their feelings are, and then to develop ways to calm down. It's not a punishment. It's not to get them in trouble, and should not be used for that, because that will reinforce the negative behavior. And also, the whole point of this is to help them calm down, but also to help them learn those skills for self-regulation, for emotional regulation, which are so crucial and critical for your entire life. And so you really want to use this box to intervene before they get to the point where they're misbehaving, or even if they are acting silly, just pointing out that you seem fidgety, you're having a hard time listening. Let's see if the calm down box will help. Why don't you take a few minutes and sit and see if that helps calm down your body. Or why don't you use one of these strategies? Do you want to do the clam cuddle or the puffer fish? And then especially if it helps them, you can point out, wow, taking that deep breath, or doing the clam cuddle really helped you to sit still and to focus. And now you're listening so much better, and your whole body seems calmer and more ready to learn. or ready to sit at the table and eat dinner, whatever the case may be. I hope this video has been helpful. I tried to run through a lot of information in a short amount of time. And feel free to send me any questions.